Hi my beauties, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to achieve a professional makeup look. So first I'm cleaning my client's face with wipes, and now I'm going in with the Garnier Micellar water to cleanse every dirt from her face before we put in the makeup. Next I'll be using the Zaron Serum and this skin prep brush from Bobbi Brown to apply the serum on her face, and then I'll go in with my hands so that I can rub it into her skin very well. Now I'm using the MsMetics moisture potion to moisturize her face, and I'm using the skin prep brush from before. Then I'll be going in with my hands to rub it into her skin very well. Next, I'll be using the Pond's Oil Control to control the oil that might break out on her face later on. I'll now use the classic mattifying face primer on her face just to make sure everything looks matte later on. I just love a matte look. And now I'm going to be using the Mehron skin prep to control any sweat and any other oil that might have escaped the Pond's Oil Control. I'm using the LA Girl Pro Setting Spray to lock in everything. I'll be using these two foundation shades as a foundation color, and I'll be using my beauty blender to blend everything into her skin gently. For highlighting, I'm using the Ushas concealer palette, and I'm going to be using that lighter shade for the inner corners of her eyes. Then I'll use my beauty blender to blend everything into her skin. I need to add here that when I originally put the foundation on her face, it matched her skin color, but by the time I added the concealer and other products, her face ended up looking lighter than her neck and her chest. This was a costly mistake for me actually, and another thing that affected her face in the final look was the lighting. What I should have done was to add more of the dark foundation to the foundation mixture. We keep learning every day, and at times we make mistakes like this as makeup artists. I will ensure that I don't repeat it next time. And as a makeup artist too, please make sure that you do a patch test first before applying the foundation, which I did, but it still ended up looking lighter. Her face ended up looking lighter than her neck. For the lighting issues, make sure that you are in a well-lit area to avoid any mishaps later on. To contour, I'm going to be using the same foundation mixture I used as a foundation shade, so it didn't look as dark as I wanted it to look, but eventually I still use my powder contour to bring it out very well. For blush, I'm using the Spice lip palette and that particular shade because she wanted to use this makeup for a professional photo shoot, so I was very light-handed with the products I used. To set our concealer, I'm using the Benign setting powder. For powder blush, I'm taking the MiSiNi blush palette, that particular shade, and I'm going to be lightly brushing it on our cheekbones, or our cheeks in this case. For contour, I'm going in with the Flawless IB powder palette, that particular shade. I'm using Papaya Hair Wax and a spoolie to brush our eyebrows up so that they stay in place. I put a little powder on the beauty blender and I'm using that to just lightly touch our brows so that they look matte and they don't become sweaty. Now I'm going in with the Karité Brown Ink and the Merak brush to lightly draw her brows. So she has full brows, so I don't need to draw them so much. I'm going to take my time in this video to draw brows so that you will see how it is done. To conceal our brows, I'm going in with the same concealer palette from before, that particular shade, and I'm just going to start from the tail end of our brows. I'll also take my time here so that you can see how it's done. For the upper part of our brows, I'm using the same foundation mix I used on her face earlier and the one I used as her contour shade. I'm sorry guys, my hand was blocking the camera, but I hope you can still see how I drew the upper part of our brows. I'm using a small fluffy brush to blend the concealer in, and next I'll be going with the classic face powder to set the concealer. Moving on to our eyes, I'm using that dark shade as a transition shade for eyeshadow. I'm contouring her nose with the same shade also. Using this particular shade, I use a flat brush to pat it gently onto her eyelids. Then I'll blend it into the transition shade I used earlier. This will help to create a flawless eye makeup look. I'll be using this on her eyelids just to create a shimmery effect, and as usual I'll be blending everything together just so there are no harsh lines. I'm using the Zaron Eyeliner and the Merak brush to line her eyes. For our lashes, I'm using the Bèauty mascara. For our lips, I'm using that red lipstick from the same Spice lip palette, and I'm going to be using a flat brush to apply it so that it is well defined. To highlight, I'm going back to the same eyeshadow palette from before, and I'm using that particular shade for our nose, our cheeks, our forehead, our chin, our brow bone, and the inner corners of our eyes. I'm using this shade as a finishing powder. For a reverse contour, I'm going back to the classic face powder from before, and I'll just use a beauty blender to lightly apply that to her face. I'm using the Flawless Ivy setting spray to set her makeup, and now I'm going to be using the Sooo Pro Seal-It spray to lock everything in. Here is the finished look. See how beautiful her smile is. Thank you so much for watching till the end. So my client, who is also my sister, wanted to use this makeup for a professional photo shoot, and I'm going to be showing you the pictures very soon. Here are the pictures. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Okay guys, I just want to quickly add that I edited the final makeup video and the makeup pictures too, so if they look a little bit different, it's just because I enhanced them already.